Oh. Oh. Oh gosh. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I got this. I'm gonna make it. Okay, where are we? Oh my goodness, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, hey y'all, what's up? It's me, it's me. It is everything. It's me. It is everything fresh and sassy. How are you? I hope all is well with you. I do, mind, body, spirit, and in health. It is Wednesday, October 19th, 2022. It is, what time is it? What time is it? I think it's like 5:40, 5:35, something like that. Trying to get comfortable. Got the good old gout in my knee. Ooh, okay. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Wow. Okay. Who that is hollering? Anyway. Hey! Thank you, whoever that is. Who is that yelling? Okay. Y'all, I get so distracted so easy. Anyway. I'm coming in here for one specific reason, but then I looked right before I came on, and I was like, oh, wow. I got my first YouTube gift in the mail, okay? And I know some of y'all got that secret squirrel x-ray vision, but I done covered all that up. So you can't see. Now, I did not ask permission to share this gift, so I just want to open it live and on camera because I'm just so excited. Why is the phone ringing? I'm not going to answer. I never answer the landline. I don't know who could be calling. I don't even know my own phone number. If you asked me my phone number, I couldn't even tell you. But anyway, I was really excited about this package. Okay? I was running to the mailbox every day. Is it in there yet? Is it in there yet? Is it in there yet? And clearly, this here was not going to fit in the mailbox. And then, after a while, I kind of forgot that it was coming. I was still anticipating its arrival, but I forgot somehow that it was coming. And so when I saw it outside on the porch, I was like, who ordered something from Walmart? You know. So I called my husband, my daughter, said, did y'all order something from Walmart? They was like, no. And see, if I didn't order something, I won't go out there and get it. You ain't gonna send me no package that's got a surprise in it. Nope. Won't go get it. Won't open it. Nope. Kick it right down the steps. But anyway, this is my first YouTube gift. I don't ask for nothing. I don't solicit for anything. I just don't, you know. But this was so anticipated. And I'm just so excited. I'm so grateful. I don't care what anybody thinks about this gift, but wait a minute, hold on. I said I don't solicit things, but I did solicit this. I did ask for this. I did ask. Closed mouths don't get fed, right? So I did ask for this, and wow, I'm just so grateful. I'm so thankful. Thank you for sending me this. I can't wait to open it. I gotta go to the store, and ow, I can't bend my knee like that. Anyway, I made preparations, but I don't think what I prepared for will accommodate my gift. I already know what it is. I already know what it is. So anyway, without any further delay, y'all thought I was going to say adieu, didn't you? Without any further delay, let's get the slicing. I have waited, I can honestly say I have waited years because I've tried to get this on my own and I've actually gotten one on my own. And when I got it, it wasn't what it said it was going to be. And I'm like, I'm tired of spending money on this product. And when I get it, it ain't what it's supposed to be. You know? So I went asking. And like I said, I did not ask if I could share this information, but certainly if you are in the audience and it's okay that I share, you know, because I don't want to cause any problem for anybody, you know, let me know. But anyway, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. Oh! I can't wait to open it. I know you're saying, so open it. Open it. Okay. I see it. There's paper in here, but I see it. There's paper in here. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it even though there's paper in here? Can you see it? Looky, looky. It's not eggs, toast, bacon, and cookies. Nope. Oh my gosh. Ah! I'm so happy. I'm so tickled. I'm so pleased. I'm so happy. My first YouTube gift. My first YouTube package. And okay. Okay. Y'all just don't know how long I have anticipated this gift. You don't know. All right, let's take out the first piece of paper. The next piece of paper. This was so well packaged. Thank you. The next one. Oh my gosh. Look. Oh, wow. This is packaged so nice. Oh, wow. Look, y'all, look. Oh, look at the baby. Look at the baby. Oh. And look how it's packaged, okay? Look at this. Oh, they just cradled this so nicely. They cradled this so, it's so, look. It looked like a newborn baby, don't it? Oh, thank you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Oh, wow. Look how it was packed. I know who put it in the box. I know who put this in the box. All right. Yes, Mommy knows. Mama knows. Yeah, Mama gonna take good care of you. Got a little someplace to put you. Got your own little cradle. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay. So if you don't know what this is a lemon tree. Now I have a lemon tree. I planted this tree from a seed that I took out of a lemon. And this lemon tree I planted in 2017. 7 years ago. You want to see it? Let me show it to you. Hold on. Let me put baby down. Oh, gosh. Oh. Let me put baby down, and I'll take you to see my tree. Hold on. Oh, gosh. Hold on. Let's go see the baby, the monster outside. Ooh. Ooh. I know it's cold out here. That's my lemon tree right there. See it? And it stands, it's about as tall as I am. I'm 5'7", and it meets me right at the top of my head. But this is my lemon tree, and I've got to bring her inside because it's getting too cold out here. I mean, it is really cold out here. But this is my lemon tree. Isn't she pretty? She's all fat and full, but not one lemon. So that tree that I got in the mail is going to help me, with changing that situation. Got a few volunteer petunias right there. But I'm going to bring her in the house tonight. I got to put her up on a dolly and slide her in the house because she's way too heavy for me to pick up. And look at my lemon verbena. Oh my gosh. I got to bring this in the house too. Look how fat and full it is. Isn't that beautiful? I'm bringing the verbena in the house. And then I got 2 peppers left on my pepper plant. And they look like they're trying to turn red. So I'm trying to leave them out here till they turn red. But, and then that's a pot full of oregano down at the bottom. But yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, ooh. Gotta take your time. Okay. Anyway, so I am just so excited for my baby. Oh, look at my baby. Look at my baby. You come over here and sit with the peace lily. Right there. There you go. You sit right there with the peace lily. And let me pick up this paper on the floor because I don't do that. Oh, okay. There we go. And then I'm going to put y'all right back here, like so. And then we're going to talk because I think this might help somebody. Let me take the phone case off because... Okay, that's better. Okay. There we go. Oh, I almost cut y'all off, but I didn't. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, baby, come back. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong. Oh, baby. Ooh. Okay. We're back. So anyway, I am so grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm so happy about my gift. I really am. And she's going to get put in her little bed tonight. Yes, she is. Or in just a little while. I think it's going to fit in the pot that I bought. But it might not. I want to give her plenty of room to grow. So the pot that I have is a perfect fit for what I have. I don't want it to be a perfect fit, but I don't want it to be too big. So I think I'm going to run down to the Lowe's and get something better. So anyway, this is a little segment that I wanted to do because I've just been seeing some things, when I'm out and about and in public. And I think this is something that will help a lot of new mommies, especially if you're a new mommy, if you know someone who has a new baby. Tell them to come over here and check out this video. Now, I'm not soliciting subscribers because that ain't my giddy up. But if that's what you do, I love it. I love it. But that's not what I do over here. I like it when I make a video, and if you like the information that I have, that you make a video about the video that I made. There's no need to refer back to me. I'm not that pressed for acknowledgement, or I don't want any glory or honor or None of that for something that I bring to the platform. Just take it and share it with your people. I don't want the big numbers of subscribers. I don't want the big views, because with that comes a lot of responsibility, and responsibility I'm not ready for, and I just don't want, So yeah. So having said that, I want to give you a little mommy advice, but just let me get a little sip of the tea here, okay? If you want to know what I'm drinking Teavana Beach Bellini with a dash of orange blossom water, with a dash of raspberry extract, some lemon juice, and that's it. Is that all? Yeah, that's it. And then I just got a little lemon and strawberry here on the side. So anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. But before I get started, I just want to share this one quick little thing, because I thought about this last night. Me and my daughter, we were laughing and joking, because I have this child who somehow believes he's my father. Always trying to, what are you doing there? Why are you spending that money? Why do you need that? I'll get it for you. Why are you doing what you didn't? Let me tell you what happened. We were coming back from South Carolina, and I don't know how he did it, because I could never do it. And just because I couldn't do it, I'm not saying because I couldn't do it, he couldn't do it. But he drove the entire 9 hours from South Carolina back to Baltimore. 9 hours straight. We got to Richmond and we stopped at Cracker Barrel. I'd never been to a Cracker Barrel before, and I saw a Cracker Barrel and I was like, can we stop? So, he's driving. And so we stopped in the Cracker Barrel. I walked around and, they had all this food that I couldn't eat. And stuff that I really didn't want to purchase. But it seemed like a nice enough store, a place to stop to take home some, some little souvenirs or something or whatever. But I'd never been to a Cracker Barrel before, but I've heard people talk about it, right? So we were going back to get in the car, and I started walking towards the driver's side. And he had been driving for I'd say about 5 hours. And I said, let me drive. We had just gotten to Richmond. I said, let me drive. And he said, no. I said, no, I want to drive. He was like, no, I'll drive. I said, I really want to drive. I said, you've been driving for 5 hours. Let me drive. He was like, no, I'll drive. And then he said, your driving makes me nervous. And I don't think he meant that. I don't know. I don't know. So then he did get to a point where he wanted to drive. But before that point, when he told me I couldn't drive, I caught an attitude. And I walked back into Cracker Barrel and stood inside of the Cracker Barrel lobby where they have all the goodies that they're selling and everything. And I stood in there just like this. And nobody came and got me. So I just went back outside and got in the car. But he treated me like a little kid. But then when we got 2 hours away from home, he was like, you want to drive? I said, ask your dad. I had an attitude, I had an attitude. But and so after I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? You really got a lot of nerve to be acting the way you do. Because I know there are people who are alienated from their children, their loved ones, whatever. And I had the opportunity to spend time and space with my loved ones. I had the opportunity to just sit back and just enjoy the ride. And I had to catch an attitude, and sort of mess up the vibe, right? So I had to apologize for that. I was sorry. I didn't mean to do that, but nobody was mad at me, but I just felt bad. So I apologize for that. But he thinks he's my dad or my parent. And I say that because my daughter and I, we were joking last night about how he swears he thinks he's my husband's father. He thinks he is my daughter's father. I mean, he means well. He means well. He really does. And he looks out for everybody. He worries for everybody. But, I'm sure you've all heard the saying, And your parents probably told you, because I know my mother and my father, especially my mother, told me when I was young, one day you're going to have a child just like you. Uh-oh, sorry. I got to hook y'all back up because battery's about to go. And my mother would say, one day you're going to have a child just like you. Well, guess what? I got a child that's something like me. But moreover, I have a child that's just like my mom. Now that's the rub. That's the rub. One day you're going to have a child just like your mother. Anyway, I thought that was funny. Oh, let me plug y'all back up because I don't want I don't want this to end unexpectedly, but I want to get right to what I had to say because this is not going to be a long video. I assure you. I assure you. Ooh, but listen, I was out, as I am most days. Why is that tilting like that? Oh, because I plugged it in and the cord is pulling it. How about if we do that? Will that fix it? Yeah, see, I'm smart. Okay. So I was out and about at the store, right? And I walked in the store and I could hear this little child crying. Just wah, 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 wah. And this baby was really crying, right? I mean, this was not the cry of, I can't get what I want, so I'm going to, act out that way. But this child was really crying. Actually, this happened 3 times, but the first time it happened, so I walked back to the back of the store and I found this child because anytime I hear a child crying like that, I got to go see what's wrong. That's just the mother, I think, in all of us. So I had to go see what was wrong. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I had to go see what was wrong. So I walked back there and this little baby was just crying. I want to do what I did, but I really should not get up. But I walked up to this child. Now, the mother, when I walked up, the mother was standing at the milk case, okay, with the door open. And then she shut the door and she moved down a little bit further. And I saw the baby. And she's sitting in the cart. You know how when you sit them in the cart, they're facing the opposite direction, not forward, but backward. And so the mother, I'm kind of like behind the mother, but she could see me out of her peripheral. And she never really looked at me, right? So this child is just crying and the mother is just ignoring her child. And it drives me crazy when parents ignore their children. Listen, get your child together, okay? Are they hungry? Are they tired? Do they need a drink? Attend to your child, okay? Don't just leave your child crying like that because it takes even longer to settle them back down, okay? And I'm saying this from a place of love, okay? I'm not being judgmental because I can remember when my kids were young, but I never allowed my children to cry like that, because number one, I never let my kids cry because they couldn't get their way. I would tear your behind up, okay? You're not going to cry because you couldn't get your way. So that's not even an option. That's not even happening. We will take a trip out to the car, okay? We will get between 2 cars and I will give you something really worthy to cry about. And then I feel better because then I know you're crying for a good reason. I just tore your behind up, all right? Anyway, and so my kids knew this. You could only cry if someone had died, if you were sick, or if you had fallen and hurt yourself. Those were the only times you could cry. If someone had died, you were sick, and you had fallen and hurt yourself. You're not going to cry because you can't get your way. Not going to happen. Not having it, okay? And some people have told me that, oh, you're a bad mother for that. You don't let your kids express their emotions. There's no other reason to cry other than you're sick, you're hurt, physically, emotionally. And when I say hurt, I'm not talking about your butt hurt because you can't get what you want. I'm talking about you're hurt because someone hurt your feelings or something like that, All right. But anyway, people thought that was so cruel. That was so mean. Whatever. Where your kids at? What they doing? But anyway, I walked up and the baby was crying. This child was about maybe, 3 or 4 years old. And I walked up to this child and I just did this simple little, silly little dance. I was like, you know, like doing the Watusi or whatever that is when you swipe your arms back and forth across your knees. I did that. And when I did that, that child was like, ah. What is that? Oh, leaves is blowing off the tree. Okay. So when I did that, the child was like, ah, ah. When I did that, not only did this child stop crying, it's like the whole store just got silent. I'm talking about you could have heard a butterfly fart. Okay? It was so quiet. And all I did was walk up to this child and just divert their attention for just a few minutes. Okay? It happened. Now that was at the Giant. It happened again at Home Goods. And this child was just hollering and crying. I don't know why this child was crying. And so the mother picked up the phone and she's on the phone. She's talking to somebody. She's like, here, they're on the phone. Talk to them. So I don't know. Maybe this wasn't their child. I don't know. But she picked up the phone. She FaceTimed somebody and she showed the child, the person who was on FaceTime, but the child just kept crying. So I walked up. I did the same thing. And it took me 10 seconds to do this little silly dance. And this child just stopped crying, right? So she put the child in the cart and started walking around the store. And then once she didn't see me anymore, she started crying again. I walked up to the child again. I did the same little silly dance, okay? And she stopped crying. So then this time, she's sitting in the cart, right? So then this time, I walked over to where they had the pillows, and I got her a pillow. And I put the pillow on the thing where you push the cart at, and I put the pillow there. I said, put your head down, baby. She put her head down, and that was it. Sometimes it takes the kindness of a stranger. Sometimes it takes the intervention of a mother, a grandmother, an auntie, a friend, maybe even a stranger. Now, I know, because I'd be a little leery about somebody telling my child to do anything, and I don't know you. I'd be a little bit leery about you saying or doing anything to or with my child, and I don't know you. Now, when it first happened at the Giant, like I said, this lady had her back to me, but I know she saw me out her peripheral, because when I started doing the little dance, she kind of like that. And she looked at her baby like, you see her? And she like waited until I finished doing what I was doing. And then she proceeded to push the cart on. Okay? I'm just saying, sometimes it's the littlest things that they want. Maybe just a little attention, a little diversion from, or distraction from whatever that's got them upset. Take the time, because then it's going to be less of a chore to have to settle and quell them without having to buy them a piece of candy or buy them a toy or buy them this or because we don't have to keep just buying and buying and buying stuff. Because we don't want our kids to think, well, the only way that they behave is when, mommy or daddy buys them something, right? Now, the third time this happened, this lady, I think she was just really in a bad place in her life, because she had this little girl with her, and this little girl's eyes were so puffy. This little girl's eyes looked like somebody had been beating her all about the eyes. That's just how puffy her eyes were. They weren't black and blue. They were just swollen, which told me this child cries a lot, And so the mother's walking through the store, and she's picking stuff up, and she's got stuff in her arms. And I said, ma'am, here, take my cart. I said, she's probably tired. I said, here, take my cart. I hadn't even put anything in the cart yet. I had just walked in the store. I said, ma'am, take my cart. I said, it's okay. I said, I only have 1 or 2 things to get. I really don't need it. She was like, no, she's just going to have to learn. I can't pick her up all the time. She's going to have to walk sometimes. Meanwhile, the mother has all this stuff in her arms, and she's like kind of like dropping stuff, and I'm like, Really, no, I really don't need the cart. I'm literally just getting two things. I just grabbed the cart just out of habit. You can have the cart. She did not want to take the cart. This child was probably just tired, and I see this often where sometimes parents will, make the little ones walk. Maybe they don't own a stroller. I get it. Okay. But you have to remember that they're little people. They got feelings. They get tired too, you know. And just imagine, okay? Have you ever been in a store somewhere and you asked somebody who was a lot taller than you to show you where something was, and they went to take you to where it was, and just because they were taller than you, their stride was longer and wider than yours, and so you had to, pick up your pace to keep up with them. Their 1-2 step was your 4 or 5 step. I had to take 4 or 5 steps to keep up with their 1-2, just because they were taller than me. It's the same thing with a kid. Their legs are shorter. They're smaller. They have to take 5 steps to take up with your 1 step. All that walking makes them tired, and especially if they're already tired and cranky. And I just really felt bad for that little girl because, I really felt like she was tired. And there's nothing wrong. Okay, so maybe you don't want to hold her in your arms, but you can at least put her in the cart, so she's not tired. And maybe what I did with my kids, I would always get a package of toilet paper, the Charmin, the real soft toilet paper, and I would put it in the cart, in the part where you put the groceries at, down in the bottom. And I would tell them to lay down and put their head on the toilet paper, Or I'd get some paper towels and tell them to put their head on the toilet paper, just so they could have a soft spot in the cart and they could just chill and relax while I'm trying to figure out, whether I want Safeway brand butter or I want Land O'Lakes butter, They don't want to stand there for that. They're tired. They're little. That's not what they want to do. That's not what keeps their attention. That's just, So I'm just saying this because I want to see mothers enjoy motherhood. I want to see mothers enjoy their children because I'm going to tell you, children have a lot to offer. And oftentimes as women, we go here, we go there looking for love and, looking for acceptance and all this other stuff. And if you've got a child right in front of you, all that you need is, 99.9% of what you need is right there in that child. You've got love, you've got peace, you've got joy, you've got happiness, you've got fun, you've got all the warm, fuzzy feelings that you need right there with that child, okay? I know there's that 1%, okay, that the man supplies. Okay, I get that. I got it. But the rest of it, honestly, is right there in front of you. And you can cultivate and grow that love and grow that peace, that joy, that happiness, by giving your children time, acceptance, appreciation, acknowledgement, and love. You can get all that back tenfold from a child. But if we're so mad at the child because the daddy's not there and that child just happens to look just like his daddy, and I've heard people say things like, you look just like your father. I can't stand you because you look like your father and your father ain't here. He's not paying child support. He's not helping me. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. And then you've got the mothers who won't let their dad, the children's dad, see the children because the mother is mad at the dad. Now that happens in a lot of different arenas. Thank you. That happens in a lot of different arenas because it's not just the dad that happens to, okay? You've got mothers who are mad at the dad, so the mother won't let the dad see the child. You've got fathers who are mad at the mother, so the father won't let the mother see the child. It can go both ways. And then even further, you got parents who are mad with a grandparent and won't let them see the child. But and the thing about that, oftentimes there's already a relationship and a bond between that grandchild and that grandparent, and they can't even see their grandchildren. And that's really, I don't want to say that's worse, because the relationship is built. Because oftentimes when a mother says a dad can't see the child, it's because the dad has made promises. Oh, I'm coming to get my son today. I'm coming to get my daughter today. And they leave that child sitting. They leave that child to sit. But you know, that can also happen with grandparents, you know, too, you know, where they say they're going to do something for this child and then they don't do it. And it's constant. It happens over and over and over again, you know, and the children are sitting there left disappointed, you know, and that's why, at least in my life, I always, when I tell my grandkids I'm going to do something, 99.999% of the time, if I told them I was going to do something for them, I did it, because I know how children look forward to spending time with people that love them and care for them. And, you know, when that relationship is made, it's the children really that hurt. And it hurts the kids also when the custodial parent says, that child can't see their other parent, or they can't see a grandparent. The children really hurt and they really suffer. And you can buy them all the gifts and toys you want. You can have all the conversations with them. Oh, well, I talked to them. They're good. They're going to be good because they live with you. They're going to be good because you're the parent. You know, they're not going to argue and fuss with you. But believe it or not, you know, people hurt their children when they make those separations from the non-custodial parent or from a grandparent or whatever. They really do hurt the children, and especially, like I said, especially if the child has a relationship. And the other thing I would say is it's very hurtful to a child to hear a parent talk badly about the dad, you know, because, you know, a lot of times the child will be talking to the mother, or the mother will be talking to the child and say something like, oh, I can't stand your father's stupid, and he's this, he's that. And that child is longing to see that parent. And meanwhile, the custodial parent is talking badly about the parent that's not present. So it really does have an effect on the children. And they may not say anything, they may not voice it out loud, but they're hurt. They're hurt. And, you know, I was listening to something on the radio. I think it was on WPGC. And apparently, this woman and her husband had gotten a divorce. They got a divorce 7 years ago. So they've been 7 years divorced. And the mother won't let the custodial father see his children unless he comes to her home. And she says she's not going to let her children go to his home because she has not yet met the new wife. She wants to meet the wife. Now, what happened was the new wife was the mistress. This man didn't just divorce his wife and then get a new wife. He married the mistress. So she wants to know, well, who is it that you were messing around with while we were together? Who was it? And I'm thinking, you know, this might have been a best friend of hers. This might have been a relative of hers. The reason why he won't allow the two of them to come together and meet. So I thought about it and I said, you know, and they were having people call in and ask their opinion. So what do you think? Do you think she's wrong for not letting the kids go to their father's house, and wrong for telling him he can only come to her house to see the kids? Now, see, first of all, as the new wife, okay, as the new wife, I would have to say, listen, you're not going to be sitting at your ex's house, okay, with your kids, okay? Those kids can and should come here and be with you. Okay, you should be in your children's lives. You should make sure that you're going to the PTA meetings. You should make sure you're going to the football games, the basketball games, the report card meetings. You should be going to all of those things, because what happens is that child grows to resent the new wife because they feel like the new wife has kept the parent away from the children, when most likely that didn't even happen. Okay. But anyway, I would have told my husband, listen, you're not going to be sitting over at your ex-wife's house with your kids. That's not going to happen. So we need to make a bedroom. We need to make space and everything for your children, your child to come. Well, they had 3 kids. For your children to come here and enjoy themselves and feel like this is home for them. Not home away from home, but that this is home. We have to make this as comfortable for them as possible. So people were calling in and saying she was wrong, she was bitter. And I'm like, well, first of all, she might be bitter. It's been 7 years. She might be wrong, but I don't know how a woman could allow her children to be around someone she don't even know. She's never even met, okay? Never even had a conversation with. Now, it's one thing if both parties, the first wife and the new wife, if they've decided, well, I don't need to sit and have grapefruit with her. I don't need to sit and talk with her. And if both parties agree to that, that's one thing, okay? If the new wife agrees and says, look, I don't need to meet her. We don't need to have no conversation. Your children can come here. They will be loved just like my children will be loved. And there'll be no difference. There'll be no separation or divination of how we love this one or that one, okay? But I understood where she was coming from. If my children are going to be around someone else, I would like to know this person. I would like to at least say, yes, I'm the mother. Hi, how are you? Okay, all right. Okay, where y'all live? Okay, that's good. All right, okay, in case there's an emergency, I need to pick them up or whatever. Okay, we good. Like I said, we're not sitting and having grapefruit together, okay? But certain social graces should be allowed, and for the sake of the children, you have to have a relationship, some sort of cohesive and cordial, at least cordial relationship with one another in front of those children, because you put a lot of stress on your children when things are chaotic between both sides, So anyway, that's what I wanted to say about that. That wasn't even something I wanted to talk about, but nonetheless, I said it. It might help. Share it, okay? But yeah, when your kids are out in the store and out in public and they're out of sorts, stop and attend to them. Maybe they need something to eat. Maybe they need a book to look at. Maybe they need you to hold them for just a minute and just sit and talk with them. Just, time, attention, acceptance, all that. They need that, okay? Anyway, I wanted to say this because there's this young lady. She's a teenage mom here on YouTube. Her baby was a premature baby. I think her baby was born, while she was only 5 months gestational. And her baby spent a good amount of time in the hospital. And she made a video one day and she was so distraught. She said, the baby won't stop crying. He won't stop crying. He just won't stop crying. And I felt bad for her. And I'm like, wait a minute. Where your mama at? So I don't know if she was trolling or what. Because if I'm not mistaken, she lives with her mother. But her mother might have been at work. Her mother might have been tired. I don't know. But in any event, she was just really distraught. And I don't know if she made that video for clicks, views, whatever. But she was crying and he won't sleep. He's just going to cry again if I put him down. And the way she was holding him and, there's just, okay, first things first. The way you hold a baby. Always put the baby's head right here. The baby's neck should rest right here in the crux of your arm. And his or her head should rest right about there. And then you cup and cradle the body with this part of your arm and your hand, right? This makes them feel cocooned and safe and, But she was just she was holding the baby's butt and the baby's head. And she was holding him like this, okay? You gotta cradle that baby. You gotta hold that baby, okay? Hold that baby like I know you love that baby, okay? Really hold that baby, okay? Hold him close to you. So that's number one, okay? And she said, he keeps crying. And she's like, I feed him. And then he wakes up 30 minutes later and he's crying again. Now, what I don't think she knew was that when you're at a certain point, I think it's after the first week or so, the baby, I don't know if it's the first week or the first month, I don't remember. But there comes a time when the baby wants to eat every 30 minutes. And if that baby's crying for breast milk, because I hope that's what you're doing, I'm going to leave that right there. If the baby's crying for breast milk, then you need to give that baby breast milk. Now, I know it's difficult, and for some women, it's very painful. It was so painful for me to breastfeed. It was so painful. It felt like that. My first child, it felt like he had razor blades in his mouth. And I just sat there and the tears was running down my face. And then I found out there was a breast pump. Okay, this was back in 1986, all right? Then I found out there was a breast pump. And so I was able to pump because I could not stand for him to breastfeed. It just was so painful. And the breast pump worked out a whole lot better. It was a lot more efficient, a lot more effective, because sometimes I would get engorged in between feedings. And if you've breastfed, you know what engorged means. Engorged comes when a mother's not feeding on time or she's not pumping and expressing milk on time, and the breast turns to a rock hard, solid breast. It turns rock hard. And you've got to put a warm wash, you've got to do warm compresses, you've got to kind of massage until it softens up. And then when it softens up, you can express the milk or you can pump the milk via, a breast pump. But I'm really encouraging women to breastfeed because, we don't know what's in that formula. Why do they call it formula? What's the formula? What's in there? What are you doing? What are you doing? So anyway, breastfed is best fed, and you got to eat right. You can't be eating all this spicy and gassy food, okay? Because you're going to pass that along to the baby, and your baby's going to be very uncomfortable. Your baby's probably going to cry a lot, be a little bit colicky. And I had a child who was colicky. And those children don't cry. They scream. And they will scream for, let me tell you, I say they scream for a good 8 hours straight once they have a colic attack. And if it had not have been for my mother, thank you, Yahweh, if it had not have been for my mother, because my son would start screaming at 9 p.m. and he would not stop screaming until 5 a.m. when I had to get up and go to work. I had to get up at 5 to be to work at 6, okay? And if it had not have been for my mother, I couldn't have made it. I could not have worked. I would not have been able to work because he would scream from 9 to 5. It was like clockwork. And my mother would just walk the floor with him. And he would just burp and fart all night. Burp and fart, burp and fart, burp and fart all night. And they really didn't have anything for it. So we were trying all these different formulas. We did, the first one we did was Isomil, which is soy. The next one was Prosobi, which was soy. And both of those things gave him projectile vomiting. Because I had stopped breastfeeding at about, I think 5 months with him. 4 or 5 months I had stopped breastfeeding because it just got too much for me. But we tried Isomil, Prosobi, and then they recommended this other one called Nutramigen. That stuff was horrid. It smelled bad. It tasted bad, but he was like, I mean, he was tearing it up. It was awful. It smelled bad. It tasted bad because, I taste everything I give my kids. And that was the only thing that he could drink. And then that went on for about, and it was expensive too. For a 24-ounce can, it was $30 in 1986. Okay? So after a while, he was able to just have a regular formula that I made for him because I was tired of paying that kind of money and he didn't need it anymore. And it was also very difficult to mix. You could not just put this powder into some water and stir it. You had to put it in a high-powered blender if you did, and then strain it, because it had these big, thick clumps and lumps, and those lumps that powder would not dissolve in water. So you had to put it in a high-powered blender and then strain it to make sure that there were no big clumps left behind. But it was a hassle, and it was expensive to use that product. So we just went to the carnation milk, water, and Karo syrup. It was fine. Or so I thought. That's another conversation. Not going to have that right now. But anyway, what I wanted to say to that young mom is that, she says, watch, he's going to get ready to start crying in about 10 minutes because it's been 20 minutes since I fed him last. And like I said, I don't think that she knew that there comes a point where your newborn baby is going to cry every 30 minutes to be fed. And you just got to feed them. You just got to feed them. And make sure that they're well burped. Make sure that they're changed because, if they're hungry, they're going to cry. If they're soiled, they're going to cry. But like I said, I don't know if she was doing this just to get clicks and views, but apparently she didn't know that he would cry every 30 minutes for food after a certain point. So that was one thing I just wanted to bring up. Your baby will cry every 30 minutes for food, and it's like a growth spurt that they have, and they need to be fed, okay? Now, what I want to say is it's going to be best for you, less stress for you, less stress for the baby if you put that baby on a schedule. Now, some people don't want to do a schedule. They just want to let the baby cry. When he cries, I'll feed him. Okay? When he cries, I'll change him. That can work because I did it, my mother wanted me to put my son on a schedule, and I did for a while, and then I just was like, I can't. And only because I wasn't organized, okay? It's best to put them on a schedule, and this is why. When you have them on a schedule and like if they're in that every 30-minute kind of thing, you can get behind it. Or rather, you can get in front of it. Okay, so if you know this baby's going to wake up in 30 minutes, okay, in 20 minutes, it's time to start preparing the bottle, the wipes, the diaper, the washcloth, the towel, whatever you need to do to get this baby together, get all that together and ready 10 minutes before the child is going to wake up, or whatever time it takes you to get things put together, okay? Get in front of it. Don't wait for the baby to start to cry. Now, you do want to let them cry a little bit. You want them to exercise their lungs. You want them to clear their lungs. And they only need to do this like once a day for just 30, 40 seconds or so. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn-out thing where you just leave them cry for 5, 10 minutes. That's just ridiculous. That's child abuse. I'm sorry, that's child abuse. Okay? 30 or 40 seconds crying, give them their bottle. Okay? But what I would do was, with my last 2 children, especially my daughter, my last child, I would make sure I had everything I needed before I knew she was going to wake up. I had her on a schedule every 4 hours. I knew she needed to be fed after that 30-minute thing was up. But I knew she needed to be fed. So what I would do was, at the 3-hour mark, I would get the diapers, the wipes, everything that I needed. I would get her formula warmed up and heated. And I would go in and wake her up. Okay? And before I woke her up, before it was time to wake her, so every 4 hours, so like around the 3-hour and 30-minute mark, okay, I would go in there, I would wipe her face, wipe around her neck, change her diaper, clean her up, put a new t-shirt on her, new pajamas on her. If it was cold, I'd swaddle her. And if she was really young, I swaddled her too. And then pick her up and hold her. Stop propping that baby's bottle up in his mouth, okay? Hold that baby. That's y'all's time to bond with each other. That's that baby's time to look at you and look at her, look at you and look at him, okay? Hold that baby. Look at that baby. Hold that baby's bottle. Stop propping that baby's bottle up in his mouth like that. Baby's going to choke, and y'all walk off and do something else. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because Grandma said don't do it. So, anyway, around the 3:30 mark, I get everything together. I change her diaper. Sometimes she'd wake up while I was changing her diaper. Sometimes she wouldn't. But by the time I picked her up, I'd wake her up, make sure she was awake, and give her her bottle. And then I would burp her. And I always ask for 2 burps, okay? I'd sit her on my lap, and I'd rub up, and I'd pat just gently. Sometimes I see people, and they just trying to burp the baby, and they like... I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not a grown man you patting on the back, honey. That's a baby, just light taps. Some of y'all are heavy-handed and don't know how heavy-handed you are, So that's why I say just rub. I used to rub up. And I'd let their chin be supported on my index finger. And they'd sit on my lap, and I'd rub upward. And I'd get one big burp. And I said, okay, give me another burp. Give me one more burp. Give me one more burp. That's what I used to say to them. And I tried to get at least 2 burps out. And then, try to engage with the baby for a little while. Coo with them, play with them, talk to them. And then, put them back down when they were ready to be put back down. And sometimes I'd put them down to... play with the little toys hanging over their head and kick their legs and, because they need to kick their feet and move their arms and exercise a little bit. And that's how I got in front of the crying. And not having to hear the crying left me, I would say, stress-free. But once a baby starts to cry, you get a little stressful. You get a little frantic. And I'm just giving this tip of getting in front of the crying in putting the baby on a schedule so that you're less anxious. You have less anxiety about when the baby cries. But like I said, they need a little time to cry. Once or twice a day, 30, 40 seconds. That's it. That's enough. Pick them up. Give them their bottle. Okay? All right? But that's the only way that you can be peaceful about motherhood. Is if you plan, prepare, and schedule. Okay? Plan, prepare, and schedule. So, anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. But have your baby on a schedule, and it'll make it a lot less stressful for you. It is getting dark, and I can't see. Okay, I talked about that. Quelling the baby, all right. I talked about that. Oh, there's this new trend, and I think this is going to be the end of the video after this, but there's this new thing on one of them social media platforms where they're talking about within motherhood that messy is the new normal. Look, y'all, I'm going to need y'all to stop falling for these trends that people are putting out here talking about when you take a shower, you don't have to wash your legs. When you take a shower, you only have to shower only when you feel icky. You don't have to shower every day. You don't have to bathe every day. This whole new trend about messy is the new normal. Y'all stop it. Stop falling for all the stuff that you all see on social media. Messy is not the new normal. Your home is your respite. Your home is your place of zen. Your home should be feng shui if that's the way you want to set up your home, okay? But your home should be a place of peace and rest. And you cannot be peaceful. You cannot feel restful. You cannot feel at ease when there is chaos in your home. There is clothes everywhere. There is a mess here. You just cannot be peaceful. Because what will happen is you'll find this one little spot in your house where it might be, pretty neat, pretty clean there, and you will just, I've seen it happen. You will just find yourself engaged in on your phone, your tablet, like this. Meanwhile, there's chaos going on all around you. You can't be rested. You can't be peaceful. Your children can't be restful. Your children can't be peaceful when there's chaos and mess. And as far as your children are concerned, when they're able to walk, they can clean. They can help clean up, and they want to, okay? My youngest grandbaby used to love to put the water away. We used to buy the pack of 24 bottles of water. I stopped doing that a long time ago. But we used to buy the 24 pack of bottles of water, and I had a little basket I kept the bottles of water in, right? And she would love for me to open that plastic bag, and I got a video of her doing this, right? And she would take the bottles one by one. And the bottles were almost half her size. And sometimes she would pick up 2 bottles at one time and put them in there. And I'm like, how is this baby that strong, right? And she loved to do that. And she was barely, I don't think she was even 2 yet. No, she was past 2. She was barely 3, I want to say. And she enjoyed doing that. And my grandkids love going to the store. They love shopping in the grocery store. They love putting food in the grocery cart, getting everything. And then I gave them my credit. Listen, when I go in the grocery store with my grandkids, I push the cart. Matter of fact, one of them pushes the cart. The other 2 are putting stuff in the cart. And then one scans the stuff. The other one rings the stuff up. And then another one takes my credit card. After the other one puts the phone number in. And the other one takes the credit card and rings it up and swipes it through. The other one gets the receipt. The other one's put the bags in the grocery cart. And I ain't done a thing. I haven't done nothing but stand and watch them and tell them, this is what we need from the store today. They love helping. They love feeling like they are adults. They love feeling like they are contributing, you know. And that's one of the best things that I love to do with my grandkids is taking them to the grocery store because they love doing that kind of stuff. Let me turn some light on. It's getting dark in here. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Oh. I know the light should be in front of me. Yeah, it should be in front of me. I can't turn around. Oh, yes, I can. I can turn around. Hold on one second. Ooh, wow. I'm going to put you right here. And then I'm going to push you back there. And then I guess I can unplug my phone now. Hold on. Yahweh, someone needs you. Help them, heal them, comfort and protect them in Yeshua HaMashiach's matchless and mighty name. Amen. Oh. Ooh, okay. That's better. So, but they would love going to the store and doing that. You know, it made them feel accomplished. And then I would always get them a little treat like some gum or some chips or, you know, a bottle of water. But they love doing that. So, you know, your children can be a part of keeping the home clean. And, you know, if you buy little containers and say, okay, now your crayons and your coloring paper goes in this container here. I don't want to see your paper and your crayons out unless you're working on them. Otherwise, put everything in this container. Give them boxes and containers to put things in and to organize with. And once you put everything into the container, I want that container to be put here. And when we teach our children that everything has a place and a space, your home is less chaotic. Your home is organized and more orderly. And I think everyone can enjoy being at home and in the house that much more when things are neat, clean, and in order. Things are fresh. Things are clean. It smells good. It looks good. You know, it's like, wow, I'm home. You know. And when the kids would come over, we would always have morning inspection, and they got a kick out of making up the bed and picking out their own clothes, you know, because they always had a spot in the drawer, and they got a kick out of going to the drawer and picking out their clothes, putting their clothes on, you know, brushing their teeth, washing their face, and then they'd make up the bed, because, you know, for a long time, when my husband and I first got married, we never made the bed. We got out, we got up, we left, and we got right back in that bed. But I got a thing. I've been like this for the past, I don't know, 15, 20 years, I'd say. I'd say for the first 10 years of our marriage, we did not make our bed up. We did not. But after a while, it was like, I got to have my bed made up. Because when I pull those covers back, nice and neat, like the hotels do the turn down service with the mint on the pillow, it was just so much nicer to get in the bed when the sheets were all uniformed and pulled up and pulled together, and the fitted sheet is tight and tucked and the pillows are fixed. It's just so much more pleasant to get into a bed that's made up already, and so after they would, get dressed and take care of themselves in the restroom and make the bed up, I said, okay, it's time for morning inspection. And we would pretend like we were in the military, and, it was just fun. It was fun. I made it fun for them, and they had a good time with it. Everyone was always laughing when we did it. So, but, yeah, you can make your kids a part of, cleaning up and keeping the home clean. And, when especially little girls, when they're young, they love to get up on a chair and wash dishes. They might make a mess. There might be water all over the floor, and you want to keep it safe for them. You don't want anybody to slip, fall, and, bust their lip on the countertop or anything like that. But you can make it safe for them so that they can wash dishes, and, they like to wipe down the counters, and they love to cook with you, and, all these things that, bonds you all and brings you all closer and closer together. They love doing that stuff. They do, and that's why I think it's to children, it's more about the time that you spend with them than the things that you buy for them. And I think they remember more the time that you spend with them, because those toys oftentimes are replacements. Sometimes we buy those toys as a replacement for the time we didn't spend with them. Sometimes, other times it's a reward because they were good or they asked for it and they really wanted it, But I think it's the time that you spend with them and keeping your word. If you say you're going to be there for them, then be there. What is that white light back there? Oh, okay, I see. If you say you're going to be there for them, be there for them. Don't tell them you're coming and not show up. Don't tell them you're going to do something and then not do it, Do what you say you're going to do for your kids, and you'll have a much better and happier relationship with them. And I think that's all I wanted to pass along, and I hope that it helps someone. Oh, and as far as keeping the house clean, if you're just the type of person who struggles and has a difficult time with cleaning, or you just don't have time because maybe you're working full-time, or maybe you're working full-time and part-time, and you just don't have time, you need to carve out some money, okay? Because this is a need, this is a necessity. You need to carve out some money to hire housekeeping services to come in at least once a week. Now, unfortunately, these housekeeping services today are not what they were when I had a housekeeper and a nanny, okay? Not at the same time. Well, yeah, I did, because my housekeeper became my nanny at one point. So I did have a 2-for-1, two services rolled up into one person. That was Mary. Mary started out as a housekeeper, and then she wanted more work. She needed more money. I said, well, some days where, the kids get out of school early or they don't go to school this particular day. Can you keep the kids? Can you come over and stay with the kids? And she would do that. And it worked out perfect, because let me tell you something. When Mary came to our house, I know I've talked about her before, but I'm going to give her props. Rest in peace, Mary. But when Mary came to our house, oh my goodness. Mary, first of all, she probably weighed 90 pounds soaking wet. Only 90 pounds soaking wet. But what Mary could do in 4 hours would take me 2 days in terms of cleaning. And she didn't move that fast because Mary had congestive heart failure, and she had asthma, okay? And so she didn't move very fast, but I mean, the way this woman cleaned, I don't know how she did it, because oftentimes when she was cleaning, I wasn't even there. The kids were there. And then when I would come home, the kids would be like, don't go in there because Mary just cleaned that room. And I'm like, well, what about when I cleaned it that time? And y'all just went in there and tore that mess up. What about that? But that was different. What? Anyway. when Mary would clean, I don't know what she said to them, but they was like, don't go in there because Mary just cleaned that. This is what my little kids were telling me, okay? Don't go in there. Mary just cleaned that. And then they loved when Mary made hot hamburgers, and my son would tell her, Mom, you got to cook them low and you got to cook them slow. Like, whatever. And when Mary stayed with my kids, when I came home in the evening, Mary always had some food on the stove or in the oven. And most of the time she would take a chicken out the freezer in the morning, and that chicken would be done when I got home. All I had to do was like make some potatoes, some peas and carrots. Dinner was done. Okay, Mary would find money in my house, and I don't know if she was doing this or what, but Mary always managed to find at least $15 in my house. And she would leave it laying up in the windowsill. She would say, I found some money. Mr. Washington had some money in his jeans, and it was some money in the sofa. $15 or more was always laid up on that windowsill. I don't know where she was getting it from, but she said she'd find it. So, of course, I'd always give it to her. And then she'd ask me dumb questions like, Navelin. That's how she would say my name. Navelin. Can I have this plastic bag? I'm like, Mary, don't ask me, can you have a plastic bag? Don't ask me. Take the bag, Mary, please. You know, if it's something here you want, let me know you need it. It's yours. Stop asking me for stuff. But she would ask me, you know, I just thought to be respectful. But anyway. Mary was a good person, and like I said, she started out as a housekeeper first. She was cleaning for my friend Eleanor, and Eleanor didn't need her as much, and so I said, well, do you think she'd have time for me? And so she said, well, here's her number, you can call her. I called her, and you know, next thing I know, she was coming to my house once, sometimes twice a week to clean. And let me tell you about how Mary cleaned. When Mary cleaned, she cleaned, and she's the only housekeeper that I've ever had that would wash, dry, fold, and put away clothes. Call the housekeeping service right now. Ask them, do they wash and fold clothes and put them away? I had one group that said that they would take the job, and I said, well, I need someone who can wash and dry and fold and put away clothes. They were like, well, we don't do that. I was like, well, we can't do business because that's what I need, you know. And they were like, okay, we'll do it. And I got home that night, and I opened the drawer, and I pulled the drawer out, and the clothes were damp. I'm like, you can't put damp clothes away. They'll mildew, and then I can't wear them. So anyway, Mary was one of the best things that happened to us while we had little ones running around. And I'm saying that to just say that, you know, you've got to carve out money to have someone help you out around the house if, in fact, you are not able to do it. If you're not able to cook and clean and do everything, at least have someone to come in and clean for you, okay? The bed linen's changed. You know, the floors mopped, the bathrooms cleaned, the carpets vacuumed, things dusted. But Mary did everything. She did everything. And listen, when Mary would wash and fold stuff for the linens that we had, everything was put together and color coded. Okay, if there was a bath towel, a hand towel, and a washcloth, they were all together in a neat little package. Okay, my sheets, I never had to find the fitted sheet and then go look for the top sheet and the pillowcases. Mary would fold the sheets and the pillowcases, and she would leave one pillowcase open. And in that pillowcase, she would put the folded fitted sheet, the folded top sheet, and the rest of the folded pillowcases into the pillowcases. So, and then she'd fold it up nice and neat and into this little package. And everything was in that package. I never had to look for any of my bed linen. Everything was color-coded. If I had navy blue towels, the navy blue towels went on the bottom. The light blue towels went on the top. And the white towels went on the top of that. You know, everything was in order. I mean, oh gosh. She would organize my utensil drawer. And I mean, you know, I had a utensil drawer with the little box that you put in there with the little sections. And I put the forks and the knives in nice and neat, but no, I didn't. Let me stop lying. I didn't. It wasn't all that neat. I mean, but the forks were with the forks, the knives were with the knives, but it didn't look as nice as it did when Mary did it. I'm telling you, they don't make housekeepers like this no more. They don't make housekeepers like this anymore. They're going to tell you what they're going to do. Last time I called, I think it was, I'm not even going to give the name, but I called a housekeeping service and they told me if there's a magazine laying on the floor, they won't pick up the magazine. They will just vacuum around the magazine. I'm like, what? You're not going to pick up the magazine and then put it on the coffee table? Are you kidding me? They don't make them like they used to. So, oh wait, I got something in the oven. Hold on. I don't want to set nothing on fire. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh. 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 Oh shoot. Oh man. Oh, turn it on. And I didn't. Hold on, I'm coming. I thought I turned it on. Okay. Okay. Oh. It's on now. At least I didn't burn anything. But yeah, they don't make housekeepers the way they used to. And when they told me if there's a magazine on the floor, they're just going to vacuum around the magazine, I was like, okay, bye. Can't use you. Okay? At least to pick up the magazine off the floor. They didn't want to do it, so I did not end up working with them. And then it's hard to find a good housekeeper now because, and I'm not trying to discourage you by telling you this, but I'm just telling you this so that you can look out for these things and ask about these things. But oftentimes, there are some housekeeping services where there's like 2 and 3 of them working together. And really, I don't want that many people in my house. I guess I felt like if Mary could do it, everybody else should be able to do it. And not everybody works like that. And I guess it might be a safety issue too. Maybe they don't want to be in someone's home alone and by themselves. So, it might be for safety that they come in numbers. It's not just one. There's 2 or 3. And I guess they figure, we can get more done if there's at least 2 or 3 of us here. And then we can go do more houses and split the money. But I guess I'm just jaded after having Mary here. Mary just got the house clean in 4 hours. She just did. And I'm telling you, this woman did not move that fast. But if you've just resigned yourself to the thought that you don't like to clean, find someone who does like to clean and does it for a living, okay? And then that way, you're helping somebody else feed their kids. You're helping somebody else take care of their home too. Because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a woman that comes and cleans for you. And most likely, she's going to have some babies at home. And you're not only doing something for yourself and your home and your family, but you're doing something to help another mother and her children, So that'd be a good thing. That'd be a good thing. But anyway, and you call these people, and I don't mean to say these people, but you call the housekeeping services and, they come by, they want to see, how big the house is. They want to give you an estimate, which is fair. And make sure you have them put that estimate in writing, because I had a housekeeping service here the second year we were here. And she gave me one price. And I said, okay, all right. And she was going to come once a week. I said, okay, no problem. She said the first clean is going to be the most expensive clean. I said, okay, no problem. And so she came and she cleaned, or she sent her crew. There were 3 of them here. And they were cleaning. And I gave them the first big payment because, as she said, the first cleaning is, the most expensive. And then it was supposed to be, something lesser. And so I paid the something lesser the second time they came, the third time they came. Now, the third time they came, the lead housekeeper says to me, we're going to have to up the price up to this amount because my boss just wanted me to let you know we're going to have to change the price. And I was like, really? Okay. So I called the lady and she said, yeah, I have to change the price. And I'm like, well, why is that? Because we agreed to a price. You know, it was going to be more expensive the first clean. And then the next clean after that, it was going to be the regular price. And that's what we agreed to. And my thing is, I don't care what you charge, but be honest and don't just come here and say, we can get another $100 out of this lady. You know, don't do that to me. And don't let anybody do that to you. And that's why I say, get it in writing. Get it in writing. Because I put it back in her face. I said, look, see here? This is what you said you were going to charge me. And now you want to jack it up to another $100. No, we're not doing that. So if that's what it is, I can't use you. You know, if you had told me in the beginning that that's what the price was, okay, I could have made a decision. Yes, I'll pay. No, I won't pay that much. But whatever you pay, be honest about it. Okay? Because now I think you're trying to get over on me. Now I think you're trying to take me for bad. Now I think you're trying to do me one. Okay? And at that point, we don't even have a working relationship anymore. So they lasted 3 weeks, and when they jacked the price up that third time, I paid them what they said they needed to have that day. I paid them. I didn't have to because I had in writing, okay, what we agreed to. I didn't have to pay them what she said I should pay them that third day, but I did pay them what they asked for. And I told them they don't have to come back no more. That's it. It's over. So just, you know, be open about what you need, what you're be open about what you need and what your expectations are. And not only do you want to get in writing what it's going to cost you for the services, you want to get in writing how often you're coming, what day you're coming, how many people are coming, what you expect. Put all of this in writing, okay? If you want the kitchen light left on when they leave, that needs to be put in writing. Whatever it is, you need to be very specific about what you want so everybody understands who's on first and what's on second. Okay? Then there's no surprises and there's no arguing. There's no back and forth. This is, look, see, right here on a piece of paper, this is what we agreed to. This is what we said. All right? Now, if you can't live up to the standard, then we need to do something else. Pay for what you want and get what you pay for. All right? Don't fall for this thing about messy is the new norm, because it's not. Okay? You know, when our surroundings are clean and organized, we feel better. We do better. You notice how when you are sick and you don't feel well and you go get in the shower and get yourself a shower, even though you did not feel like getting in the shower, excuse me, but when you got out that shower and you got your lotion, you got it all dried off and everything, and you put your lotion on and hopefully you had a chance to wash your hair, don't you feel at least 40 to 50% better, even though you're sick? So I believe that having a clean body, clean surroundings, makes us feel better and helps us to do better, live better, okay? For me, if I've got clothes laying on the bench in my bedroom, I can't get a good night's sleep. It bothers me because I got to wake up, and when I wake up, the first thing I see is that load of clothes on that bench that I know has been sitting there for 2 days, okay? And let me tell you something else. This is another little tip. We have a washer and dryer. Works fine. Sometimes I get behind in the laundry. So what do? I go to the laundromat. Now, I've only done that once since I've been here. But if you get behind in the laundry, go to the laundromat. Oh, my Lord, I didn't know it was so expensive. $20 for a big washer. Now, I like the big washer because I can put everything, all the colors in there that I have that are dirty. And then I can get another washer and put all the white stuff in there. And sometimes I don't separate. Sometimes I put everything together because everything is, what do they call it? Color safe or color fast? They call it color fast, I think. Where colors don't bleed unless you're buying clothes from overseas, like, you know, the continent. They don't do that. They don't treat the clothes over there. So those clothes will bleed in the washing machine. But I got behind in the laundry recently, about a month ago, and we went to the laundromat and we got stuff washed and folded in less than 2 hours. And we had like 5 or 6 bags, 5 or 6 contractor bags of dirty clothes, okay? And you know how big those contractor trash bags are. They're very big. We had everything done and folded in less than 2 hours. I'd say it was about an hour and a half. So if you get behind and you don't want to have to put in one load and wash that, put that load in the dryer and dry that, put in another load in the washer, put in another load in the dryer, just get it all done in one fell swoop by going to the laundromat, okay? And that's how we got it done, and we got it done quick. Let the kids help out, let them fold, show them how to fold so that they can fold, okay? They love to do that kind of stuff. They really do. Here's the thing about that also. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. It may not be done the way you would do it, but let them start somewhere with something. The first time they do it, oh, you did good. You really helped mommy and daddy out so much. Oh, my goodness, you did so well. Thank you so much. I couldn't have done it without you. I could not have done all of this without you. Oh, my gosh, look how good you did. And then the next time you say, now, look, let me just show you this one little trick, okay? And you tweak what they did the last time without saying, well, you didn't do it right last time. You just say, well, let me just show you a little trick. Do it this way, and it comes out even better. Comes out even better, And that's how you engage them and get them to participate in keeping the house clean, helping to keep themselves clean, their rooms clean, their clothes clean, their things put away. Make sure they've got little bins for, crayons and paper, and bins for doll accessories, and, it just makes them feel accomplished. It really does. So that's it. I think I've talked long enough. I hope this information is helpful to someone. If you can't use it, pass it along. I'm not really trying to build my channel, so if you think this was a good video, then you make a video and, use some of the talking points that I did and pass it along to your subscribers, okay? I am Everything Fresh and Sassy. Stay close, stay tuned. I'll see you when I see you. Yahweh willing. Ciao. All right, mama's baby, come here. Oh, ooh. Let me get my baby. Let me get my baby. Oh, boy. Ooh. All right. All right. I know. You're safe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you.